Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you also for being here. I know that this is the last talk of the day, but thank you. I really appreciate the work that has been done for this event. Uh, well, we're going to be talking about how to improve customer experience, providing optimal delivery, and this is a key strategy for the case study that we're going to see today. It's a company from Chile. And I want to start by telling you about the agenda that we're going to be covering. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the background of this project, some of the main challenges that we faced, Chilean localization in OCA, because that was a really important part of this project and any project that you might want to do in for example, in Latin American countries, and how to provide deliveries with FSM, and a little bit about enterprise service bus integration with Odoo. And at the end, we're going to have some question and answers for sure. Let me start by saying that CCU is a very large company in Chile. It's as you can see, it has more than 100 years of being founded. It's in the beverage industry. They produce alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverage, and they also operate in the food sector. They have operations in several countries in Latin America, including Chile, Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay. And of course, it's in Chile. It's one of the largest brewers and in for specifically for the beer industry, and also in regards to wine, which is a very important industry in Chile as well, is the second largest producer. Their annual revenue for 2018 was $3 billion, so you can have an idea of how big is this corporation. So this is a not typical project because it's not very common that a company like that chooses Odoo for part of their operations, but this is a good example that it's possible to compete also in this big corporate market, and to deliver solutions with Odoo, of course. So Manantial is one of the subsidiary companies of CCU. They basically are a group of different companies, and one of these companies is Manantial. They are in the bottled water industry. They specialize their business in selling bottled water and distributing this in the whole country, in Chile. Basically, their core business is providing an efficient delivery service. Is one of the key drivers and differentiators from the competitors, and they strive to constantly improve the customer experience. This is something that's really, really important for them. Management operations, it's a small part of CCU. However, they have a service model, and they also have a wide nation brand recognition. And because of this company is very strategic for CCU, and they also generate a lot of cross-selling between the two companies. Now, just to talk a little bit about the service model that they have, it's a final customer. They usually, it could be a final customer or a company. They create orders using the different channels that they have. Mainly, it could be by telephone, or they could also go into the website, and from there, that order is scheduled to be delivered for water delivery on a given date. And actually, it's based on the customer preference, on the different address that the customer can have, and also the customers also they can define what is the preferred payment method. Some customers, they have prepaid orders, some others have credit, and they can pay it at the end of the cycle. And of course, when the delivery is done, the idea is to have the customers happy with the delivery that has been made or fulfilled on time based on their expectations. So as I was saying at the beginning, the customer experience is one of the main differentiators from the competitors, because a lot of people can offer water. A lot of people can have this water distribution in different sales channels. However, not all companies can provide deliveries on time, deliveries based on the organized, and most importantly, having a scope or the capacity to provide these deliveries in the whole country with the network of distributors and branches that allows to provide the service. And of course, this service can have a lot of complexity based on the number of customers and the number of requests that they have. So being able to fulfill without errors, without failing the promise, it's really important for them. This company has been looking for several years to how to improve their business, how to get revamping on their operations, and most importantly, how to modernize their systems. So that's why they decided they started to explore Odoo since something around 2017, and after having a lot of conversations with Odoo Inc. and also with some of the partners and have been able to study the solution, they decided to give it a try with Odoo and to go in a project to implement Odoo to replace the Manantial's current sales and distribution system. That was the idea, but in the end, we ended up implementing a whole ERP process and a whole ERP system for them. Main goals of the project were to provide, of course, more data, to be able to provide more data and have easy of access to this data to everybody on the company level across all the different business units. Before that, the existing system or the previous system that they had, it was an in-house design system, an in-house developed system that was only available for some areas. So that means that not everybody had access to all the information they needed in order to satisfy customer or to deal with some customer issues, for example. Of course, they wanted also to have business process automation, excellence in product fulfillment and customer service, being able to satisfy market demands, and of course, increasing customer needs, and overall improving the customer experience to keep their leadership in their competitive market. So the pilot was launched to implement Odoo in one branch. This was around by mid 2019. And then the idea is that after going with this branch, the whole Manantial company will be also adopting Odoo. The project itself is also is considered as a pilot because the main idea behind this is that CCU will also be adopting Odoo if this works as they are expecting. And of course, CCU IT department was fully involved in developing this project as well. So because it's very strategic for them. Some of the models that we implemented, it was implemented on Enterprise V12. However, several core models from OCA were used, and some of the models that we have are listed there. Sales, invoicing, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, purchase. We use contracts from OCA. Field service management, we already have a lot of discussion about our field service management. Wolfgang did a great talk about it. CRM, marketing automation, and help desk. Now, let me talk about a little bit about the challenge that we face. Of course, the first main challenge was we needed to have a system that could be fully localized for Chile, at least in version 12. Now, you might have heard that starting version 13, Odoo has a very basic localization out of the box in the enterprise model. However, it's not available in V12, and even the version in 13 doesn't have all the features that are required for a project like this. So we have that we had to work on it, and we also had to consider that it was a migration from an in-house legacy system, and there was a lot of that data issues or data inconsistency that we needed to solve. A very complex customer segmentations based on the type of customers, if they're natural persons or if they are enterprises, if what is the type of credit they have, what is it, the type of payment that they have, what is the legal document that has to be delivered for that document based on the specifications or the type of customers. So there's a lot of things that are really important to do in regards to data and in customer configurations. order processes from the website. They decided not to go with Odoo for e-commerce. They already had a portal for taking the orders, so that's what's also part of the process, because most of the orders are coming from them. More than 60% of the orders come from the website, so they needed to have a integration to be able to take the orders in Odoo. Of course, customizations in Odoo was required also in core models, not even so in core models, but also in some of the OCA models, and a lot of change management and process reengineering. For sure, one of the cherry on the top, the main issue is that it was also required to develop a lot of integrations, more than 20 integrations, to be able to connect Odoo with the corporate systems of CCU, with the website, and also to the platform that they use in order to generate the legal documents for invoicing. Chile, as well as other countries in Latin America, has a model to generate electronic invoices. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but that was also a major challenge, because we needed to generate those legal documents or invoicing and billing documents, and be able to transmit those documents to Xerox, and they are the in this case, like the middleware or the broker that are taking care of sending those documents validated with the tax authority in Chile. Localization, I wanted to start by saying that before this project, there was no localization in OCA for Chile. Max is going to give a talk to talk more in details about this tomorrow. But we didn't have any kind of localization. What we had is we were able to work in collaboration with a local partner in Chile. It's Conos. And they provide us the basic localizations models that not only them, but other partners were using to work with these projects. However, there was nothing published in the repository and on any app store available. We took that localization models. Max worked a lot on that, and he's going to share more details on that tomorrow. But basically, it was a big model where all the features were included, and in only that model. What we were able to do is just to create a refactoring of that localizations, being able to separating the different features or functionality of the model, segment everything, the code in different submodels. And we also added the part for integration with Xerox, and also integration with Equifax for credit validation. So these models are available for B12 in OCA. You can look for them. And now part of the challenge right now in this conference is to I hope that could be having some folks from Chile right now. And the challenge is that we want to start giving maintenance to these models, and of course working on a migration to B13 and further versions to have this available for the community. Here are a brief comparison. I'm not going to enter into a lot of details, but you can see here the comparison between what we have in B12 in regards to require official documents and official. I mean, these are requirements by law. So if you want to have fully compliance with your tax authority in Chile, you need to have a capacity to generate these documents. And you can see it, but for Odoo 12. We are almost compliant with everything. We only have a couple of reports that are missing because they were not part of this work, but it's a minimum part. And even if we compare that requirements with Odoo 13 Enterprise, we still have in OCA model, we still have more features covered. Integration with Xerox it was a major challenge in this project. Basically, the idea here is and this is really important. It's very strategic also if you want to touch this type of market. Of course, it's possible to sign the documents, or for example, every time that you make a sale, the sale generates an invoice, and that invoice has to be signed by the the tax or the internal revenue service in Chile. Right. You can manage that communication directly. Actually, Odoo, that's how the official localization in Odoo and the official model for invoice, electronic invoice that has been released in 13. That's the way they propose the signing these documents directly. However, in this market, it's very common that they don't want to go directly to the internal revenue system. They use a company in the middle that provide them printing services and also validation for this type of documents. And one of the leaders, I will say that it's probably the leader in the corporate segment, is Xerox. They provide a fiscal printer service, and with that fiscal printer, they can be able to send the documents directly to the internal revenue, validate that everything is in place, and once that transaction has been done, they can print the invoice. So basically, we created in the OCA models. It's created and published in the repository of the OCA, the models that allows you to have these integrations with Xerox, and that's the flow that it's followed. Basically, the document generation happens in Odoo. After that, DTES, which are the acronym for the documents, the documents that are sent electronically for the fiscal authority. Its DTEs are sent with the FTP to Xerox. These documents are already fully mapped and homologated with Xerox to have all the required validation. And it has been fully tested that it's accepted by Xerox and also by the service, the tax revenue services. Once this is received by Xerox, they take care of the validation and digital sign, and then they can print the invoice locally in a local printer, or they can put the invoice available in in PDF format in a website, for example. So legal sequences is also was also part of the project. We took the files from that are provided by the revenue service, the tax service. They provide these files called CAF. And basically, what you have there is a collection of the numbers that are authorized by a tax entity and can be used for the different documents that they have. So we added that functionality into the journals, so you can configure your journals instead of using the standard sequence of Odoo. You can use this sequence. And one of the improvements that we did is that you can use multiple sequence per document per journal, not only one. And based on the type of documents, you can select if it's going to be a document that it's going to be signed or not. This is a very elegant solution that was developed mostly by Daniel Reyes. And as you can see here, the Xerox data is basically created this. It's segmented in lots. It's not one file per data. What we have is we took all the orders and we use this or we break down these orders in multiple files, and every file is for example, for the different sections of the invoice. So for example, the headers, annex, the product descriptions, line details, line order details, etc. So each file can contain multiple documents, and this of course it's good to support legal documents, but also we also work on some internal documents that are also required by Xerox, by Manantial to be signed or printed by Xerox. But maybe those internal documents will not be required for other companies. It depends on how what operations they have, but at least the legal documents are almost required for every company in Chile. And then when you have your collection of documents, you send that via FTP to Xerox, and Xerox validates those documents and take care of the process after that. Of course, the core component of this process was based on the FSM. FSM is really important because the value proposition of Manantial to their customers is mainly founded on the excellence of providing a good delivery services. And for that, we proposed them to go with the FSM features that we had. Of course, that FSM model was also improved with some additional features. In total, I don't want to go into details of all the FSM features. Wolfgang already also provided a talk about it, so I don't want to be redundant. But just summarizing, I want to mention that we were able to manage FSM with fully integrated with the sales order. We managed delivery availability based on the capacity of the truck, for example, for the different routes that they have to cover, scheduling the days to deliver. This is really important because the customer is the one who decides when they want to have the order delivered. So, and based on that, a full calendar can be created for the different deliveries. The day route is of course created based on the delivery dates and integration with contracts from OCA, the model from OCA to handle the customer that they have credits or prepaid orders. And also it's important that based on that, you have to define if you want to provide um, an invoice or if you want to just provide an electronic delivery proof, like a delivery slip, but electronically signed. That is especially relevant for customers who have credits. Right. Inventory management to handle logistic operations, real-time stocks, product returns, etc. And of course, this was required to have fully integrated with accounting to support payments and routes, and also some other payable documents like checks, for example. It also supports accounting and inventory route closing process, because every time that the truck goes out and makes the deliveries, when this truck comes back to the warehouse, a full inventory or audit process needs to be done in regards to validate the products that it's bringing back, or also to, because they collect payments, they also have to deliver the different statements and to be able to make the deliver of the money that they have collected, right? And of course, the idea is that Odoo is tracking everything in real time, but when they come back, the physical validation needs to be done. Chilean localization documents are fully supported with all the FSM within all or across the whole FSM process, and you can fully interact with the different documents that are going to be needed, and also they can select when it's the right time to send out those documents to Xerox, for example, based on the type of operations. You have to take into consideration that this is a very major operation that they do every night when they prepare the orders for the next day. Easily they can be managing thousands of orders. That was another big concern from them. Is Odoo going to be able to handle all these demand from the system? And of course, if you had a system that it's well prepared in regards to the infrastructure and resources, it is possible. This project demonstrated that it's possible to handle a very high load demand environment. Okay, so this is some of the screenshots that we have for FSM order. You can see here the route that has been created. Once the route has been created for any particular coverage, it's assigned to a truck. That truck has also the reference for the person who's going to be driving, the vehicle who's going to be using, what is the maximum capacity of this route. Also, batch. What Odoo does is automatically generates batch pickings. What we configure here is that we create batch pickings for managing the loading to truck operations. And once this is in the load, basically every order is going to be handled by the truck driver. Then if you have legal documents that you need to deliver, you have all those documents listed there in the route. It can be the invoices, but also can be, in some cases, the transfers for electronic sign deliveries. Those are legally required. They have to travel with the truck, basically, because if the police at some moment stops the truck and they want to verify the load and the legality of those products, they need to present those documents. So they need to print these documents before the truck goes out. Once you have an FSM, once the truck is out there in the field, they can manage the orders, and basically they can update in real time. Of course, they will require to have devices to be able to connect on the field. We do have an FSM mobility app for the FSM. However, for this particular project, that mobility application requires some additional customizations that in that case it was not approved from the beginning. So we decided to start with the mobility app, the official app from Odoo, which is also possible. However, we are expecting that in the future maybe they will be switching to the FSM app, that because it's more light app and provides a lot of additional features specifically for FSM. They close in when the truck comes. You have inventory process for checking out that everything is fine. And also we introduce an accounting validation process to verify that everything has been received as expected. Using payment models from OCA as well, deposit models from OCA, the cashier is able to take this money or the values that they collected and take them to the bank and register that payment as well. And everything is related to the truck and the day route that has been managed. And just as a final part of my presentation, it's very difficult to present everything in 30 minutes, but we also work a lot in ESB integration. CCU, as part of the main strategy to migrate systems and to modernize systems, is implementing an enterprise service bus. They choose this technology WSO2. And basically what they are doing is that different servers that they have for all the corporate operations, it's being connected to the enterprise service bus. So Odoo was another piece of another component in this bus. That was the idea from the beginning. So we had to, and of course the idea here was to be able to connect Odoo through the different corporate systems that they have, including PeopleSoft for the ERP. And it's important, the accounting journals were not, Odoo was handling the journals in their own accounting app. However, the accounting that they were more interested with is the accounting that they support in their own ERP, which at that time it was PeopleSoft. They are migrating to SAP, but the idea was that all accounting journals or journal entries generated in Odoo related to payments, to sales, to invoicing, and to stock moves, those needed to be informed or transmitted to PeopleSoft, and they were taking care of the official validation for getting the numbers at the company level. This was done primarily using protocol REST API, and basically it's fully integrating in sending transactions in real time. Here you can see the queue that shows or handles all the different messages that we send or exchange between the enterprise service bus and Odoo based on the type of transactions. And of course, this just as a final thought, the main idea of this project is the outputs that we have been able to generate for this company using Odoo and open source technologies. We've been able to deliver integrated process. It's one of the major improvements that they have. Now they can be integrated with the different systems, not only across Manantial, but also with CCU corporate level. We deliver a lot of, with this project has been delivered a lot of new key features like FSM orders, contracts, management, asset control, help desk, and of course that is adding more functionality to what they have. The operations and process efficiency improve a lot because now they have automation for a lot of process. They have information 360. This is a term that was created by them basically because they really that's what they say to us. We want to have the full full sight of the customer. We want to see everything, and not only on sales. We want to have this information across all the different departments in the company, and especially they were thinking about customer service, to be able to receive a call and immediately know what type of customer it is, when was the last sales order that this customer had, when was the last deliver for this customer, or if he's waiting for something. And of course, all these elements are tended to have an increased customer experience in order to provide more value to the customer. And of course, you know that the end of the recipe is having happy customers and loyal customers. So with that, I'm finishing my presentation. I would like to know if I are a little bit short of time, but I would like to know if we have some questions. And thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Rodrigo. It's really difficult to take such a complex project and explain it in a way that boils down all of the various tasks. You did a fantastic job of giving us a view of exactly some of the challenges you and the team overcame. We don't have any questions. We're on either the chat or in Discord or anywhere. So I think we can wrap it up, because it is, it's late in Europe and even in midday, here in the North America and Latin America. But just want to thank everybody again for OCA Days, all the participation, and remind everyone that it does start again tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central European Standard Time. There will be another welcome, and then Daniel will kick it off with a session on how to contribute to the OCA. So we thank all the presenters, we thank everyone who participated, and wish everyone a pleasant good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rodrigo. Bye.